I'm 55 years old, and this is the first year I've decided to stop treating my art like a hobby. Not a side interest, not something I squeezed in when I'm exhausted, but something I'm finally taking seriously. If you're watching this and you're over 50 or over 40, and you've ever felt like I did, that your real dream got postponed, I made this video for you. Because as a mother and a working woman, I know what it feels like to be responsible your entire adult life and quietly wonder when it's finally your turn. I work full-time in a 9-to-5 job as a litigation paralegal. I didn't design my life around art. I wish I had. Rather, I fit art around my life, as I could squeeze it in between my job, my children's activities, being a wife and mother, and volunteering at church. My creative outlet was never actually really art. Instead, most of my creative outlets took the form of making things from other people's patterns and designs, such as crochet, rubber stamping, scrapbooking. And for a long time, that felt like proof to me that art could never be more than a hobby for me. I felt that my opportunity to become a professional artist had passed now that I was no longer in my 20s. But something changed, not overnight, slowly. I had a part-time job at a rubber stamp store, so I could get a discount on rubber stamps and ink and paper and things like that. And the owner decided to start selling beads and jewelry making supplies. She had a case of some beautiful glass beads for sale for about $10 each. And she told me that the artist who made them periodically drops off beads to sell on consignment. I looked at the beads he had brought and I wondered, could I do that? After all, I was making less than $10 an hour at the time for maybe 10 hours a week. I decided that I could do that, so I did. And that's what I made. I realized that the thing holding me back wasn't time or talent or even age. It was the way that I kept downplaying what I wanted and placing a high value on what I thought other people's opinions about my art would be, and also placing a higher value on other people's needs. I told myself, be grateful. Don't be unrealistic. This is just for you. You're being selfish if you want art. No one will like your art anyways. And of course, my favorite, you can't make a living as an artist. Who heard that one? But the truth is, staying small started to hurt more than growing into an artist did. When I was younger, I wanted to go to art school, but I didn't have the courage or the confidence to apply. And I only recall one other person telling me that I should prepare a portfolio and apply to art school. So I chose the practical path. I went to college for a business degree, dropped out after 2 years, but then I met my husband and we built a good life together with our kids. But that quiet regret, it doesn't just go away because you chose to take what you thought was a more responsible path. Over the years, that quiet regret has persistently whispered to me, reminding me of what I still wanted deep down in my soul. Eventually, I started setting aside small pockets of time to draw and paint, letting myself explore my creativity without judgment. Little by little, I realized that the regret could be transformed into motivation. Motivation and commitment to invest in my skills and pursue my artistic side and nurture my creativity. If you've ever felt that longing like I did, I want you to know that you can begin to quiet that by taking small steps toward what truly matters to you. Here's what I know now that I didn't know then. Being older doesn't mean you've missed your chance. It means you bring discernment, patience, life experience, wisdom. I've learned how to persevere through setbacks, and that to be an artist, resilience is just as valuable as talent. I understand the dedication and focus it takes to master a craft, and I'm willing to put in the work. At 55, I have the perspective to appreciate every part of the creative journey, not just the destination. I'm not starting late. I'm starting ready. This channel is me documenting what it looks like to take art seriously at this stage of life for a change. Not pretending I'm a beginner and not pretending I am established. I'm neither of those things. This is just honest work and honest growth. So here's the plan, and I'm keeping it simple. I'm focusing on 3 things: getting better, putting my work out there, and letting myself be seen. That means consistent practice, workshops, applying to opportunities that I never thought I'd have, and sharing my art, even when it's not comfortable. I'm saying all this to you because sometimes silence keeps us safe. If I keep my art to myself, I don't risk other people's judgment. Silence can also keep us stuck. If I don't venture beyond my comfort zone, I'll remain comfortable despite my longing to be an artist. And if I'm honest, I don't want to look back in 5 years and realize I was still waiting for approval or permission or for feeling good about putting myself out there. An art coach I once worked with asked me a question that shook me. Given how I was feeling about missing the boat as an artist at the time of our conversation, she asked how I would feel 5 years from now if I still hadn't started painting. It was then that I knew I could not keep treating painting as an afterthought or a hobby. I'm telling you this because it's important for me to put myself out there as an artist. And it's also important for me to encourage others who are in that same state of longing instead of doing, like I was. And as an introvert who would much rather fade into the background, making videos about my personal creative journey feels awkward and uncomfortable, like I'm being way too exposed. If you're watching this and thinking, I could never do that, hear me. I'm not braver than you. I'm not more talented than you. I just decided my dream deserved some oxygen. Some weeks of my content here will be exciting. Some weeks will be messy. And some weeks I'll doubt everything about going in the direction of becoming an artist. And I'm sharing all of it because that's what real growth looks like. So if you're over 40 and you're done playing small with your creative life, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel. This channel is for artists who didn't quit. They just started later. like me.